Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daniel James Wilson, and I am the host of the DDon.Life podcast. Tonight, I learn a lesson in humility. I was at the gym. Like normal nights. Usually I go 7 to 9, pretty much. I was doing day 3, which is leg day. It's always a tough day for legs. They're tough just because of how tight my hips are. So we did deadlifts. They went well. I was focusing on form. I went down in weight a little bit to focus on form, which went well. We got through the 6 sets or whatever it was, and I went upstairs to do squats. Now I have a partner. His name's Scott, and we work out together. We've been working out together for like the past, I don't know, couple months. So we're both feeling a little tired. We say, maybe let's take the same approach. Let's go down in weight a little bit and try to really focus on form and get deep and really just try to go deep. So we did. And it was tough. It was really tough. I mean, I feel like I went deep, but whenever I go deep on my squats, I feel pain in my hip flexors. So Nate, in between sets, Nate comes over, the trainer, and usually if he sees me, we'll do one of these, just like, good job, you're here doing it. And he's like, how you doing? I told him I'm feeling a little bit discouraged. I'm having trouble. My hips hurt. I'm explaining to him the problem is, if I go down in weight and try to go lower, or do I put more weight on and not go as low? Is my form fucked up? Like, what do I do? I've been struggling with this for a while. So he's like, all right, let me see you do a rep. So I do the rep, and he gets behind me to spot me, just like a normal squat spot. And on my way down, I get really low, and I hear a rip. And I can tell it's my underwear. My underwear ripped. So I knew it was just my underwear. So it was a 3 set. So I did the first one. He analyzed me. He's like, all right, go again. I did the second one. I felt it rip even more. And then I did the third one, and each time it ripped a little bit more. So I racked it. And then, so he wanted to see what it looked like from the side or in the front. He went around to the other side. And Scott was off to the right. So he's like, all right, put the weight back on my back. So I go back. I do a rep. I go really low. And I feel a rip. And this time, I'm not sure. Is this because I feel like my underwear already ripped all the way. So I heard a whole nother fresh rip. So I did the rep. I came up. I looked over. He was like, do another one. Do it. That was good. Do another rep. I look over to Scott. I'm like, will you check my fucking ass to see if there's a hole? But he didn't understand what I was saying to him. And Nate's over here saying, do another rep, do another rep. Meanwhile, there's two very pretty girls behind me working out. They work out together all the time. I see them all the time. So I'm just like, fuck it, it's fine. It's probably not, it's my underwear just probably ripped more. So I go down, I hear even more rip, and when I'm down, I go a full squat, like almost below 90 degrees, sumo almost, or ass to the grass, and I feel my fucking ass hanging out, and I can feel my balls, my testicles sticking out of the hole. So I immediately go up, rack the weight. I feel behind me. I can feel my ass. It's completely exposed. I let Nate, I go, my fucking ass is hanging out, and him and Scott start laughing. I look behind me. There's those two girls just rolling on the floor laughing. They saw the whole thing. They were right behind me when I squatted down and my asshole was open. And my testicles were completely hanging out. I'm sort of happy. This was one time in my life, other than the friends I made, that I was happy to have been brought up Catholic. I feel like I learned a lesson in humility. I've learned humility, and that was one of those moments where I had to just kind of bathe in it. And it was only embarrassing in the moment right away. It quickly wore off. The girls came up to me. They were laughing. I was like, "Did you see it?" And they were both kind of still giggling and red in the face. They were like, "Yeah. Don't worry, it was really funny though." I said, "Good. I'm glad. All right. So that happened. I'm going to go to a question I got from my friend Billy, childhood friend Billy. We grew up in Northeast together. We used to be really good friends in grade school, and we were huge into pro wrestling. We'd go see the pro wrestling, WCW, like Diamond Dallas Page, Ric Flair, all those guys. So he sent me an email saying he liked the show, keep doing it. And then he asked, he said that he likes, a lot of underground hip hop, and that he says, how come the older I get, the harder and harder it becomes to get excited about new music? It seems like the only new music I get excited about is from the artists I've been listening to forever. Maybe you are like that, maybe you are not. I'd be interested to see what your thoughts on that if you get what I'm saying. Also, I'm living Southside now if you ever want to get beers or coffee or what have you. I hope you and the family are well, Billy. Thank you. Everyone's good. Sister has 3 kids. Brother has 2. Parents are good, healthy. Billy, same back at you. Hope the fam's doing well. Thanks for the question. I would say that I don't know if it's the older I get, but I too, and I think many people have a problem with finding new music. especially music is so accessible with the internet, iPhones, LTE, 4G, Pandora, fucking Spotify, whatever you use. I use Pandora. I know. I shouldn't. I should use like Spotify or something. But here's I can't give you any advice. It's a tough question. I can't give you any like actual music to listen to because I have no idea what you would. People give me music recommendations all the time. I just can't get into it. I feel like the best way for me to get into it. Normally when I listen to Pandora, if I'm listening to a station that I like and they start playing new music, I'm in an impatient mindset. So I immediately skip over the songs that I don't know because I want to hear one of the songs that I've thumbed up. That's the enemy of finding new music. Other times I'll be hanging out with people or I'll be kind of distracted. I won't have my phone so accessible, but Pandora will be playing. And then when I'm on a station that I like and I'm not so ready to skip, maybe my mind has slowed down a little bit, that's when I give a song a chance. I give a song a chance to play through to like the first or second minute, and then I realize that this is actually a really good song. Some of my favorite songs I found that way, where I didn't skip them right away. Normally I would have skipped them right away because I'm impatient, but I let them play out, heard a minute or two, and then I realized this is a really good song. It didn't get good until like the first or second minute. So that would be that's what's worked for me. Try to slow the brain down a little bit. Let some of those songs play that on like a Pandora or Spotify or whatever you use. And just try not to be so eager to skip songs. I hope it helps. Definitely we'll get beers soon. Coffee. Not a huge... No, I'll have some beers. I like Nightingale. My friend Nick told me about Nightingale Friday night. They have like super cheap beers until midnight, happy hour or something. So we should do something like that. All right, guys. I think that's enough for now.